welcome. We are in episode 12. I am on my way to the gym as usual for today's driving show. And let me ask you, have you worked out today? Have you exercised? Whatever it looks like, it is so worth getting out of the house, getting out in the sunshine, headed to the gym. If you have to head to the gym, wherever you got to go to get it done, let's go and get it done. Well, yesterday, I went to the gym, as you know, cutting across the lanes of traffic. But I focused on abdominal workouts, and that's something when I don't exactly know what to do and I don't have a lot of time, I'm like, that's something I can do. And it's kind of fun because, everyone wants abs, right? Well, what do they say? You actually already have your abdominal muscles. It's just whether or not you can see them. So if you didn't know that, you're not actually getting abs, you're making them more pronounced, or for most people, you're getting rid of the fat around your stomach area, your abdominal area, so that they can be visible. So, cool. Well, the main things that I've done, going off of what my friend Diego, who he was actually featured last fall, he's a trainer, physical trainer in, I always say SoCal, but it's not SoCal, Palm Springs, California, which is in Southern California, but it's in the desert. And he had told me to get the abs that he had, he just did sit-ups, and one of the sit-ups at the gym, they have where they hold your feet, which is so nice, because if you do sit-ups at home, man, hopefully you can get your feet under something. If not, that's like most of the struggle, is keeping your feet secured if you don't have a friend to sit on your feet like we did back in elementary and middle school. So they have that. So he did sit-ups, and then the other one where you hold yourself up and then you can kick your legs up, kind of like, if you remember, I think I mentioned it, I was trying to work up to doing an L-sit. So it's very similar to an L-sit, but it's like an assisted one, because your arms are on pads and you're holding on, but you're still lifting your legs up. But the difference, because I can do those not super easily, but fairly easily. And when I was trying to do the L-sit at home, I'm like, why can I not do this? I do this at the gym just fine. I don't usually hold it there, but doing like reps of it is fine. It's not that hard. But the difference is that machines at the gym, your back has support, because you're supporting your back, so you're kind of pushing back while you're pushing down with your arms, having your shoulders up, and then you're lifting your legs. Where the L-sit, like, nope, you got no back support. But fun thing about that, so not this past Monday at the Young Adults group, but the week before, I was telling the small group leader I have that I was working up to that, and he's like, what is that? And I was sitting in a chair and I did it, and I was like, oh, I just did it. But I don't think he realized I was actually doing it. But I held it for like 2 seconds, maybe 1 second. Okay, 1 second I held it. But that was more than I've ever been able to do. So I was actually like, man, this stuff I've been working on is slowly paying off. And so I did those two things for the abs. And then what else did I do? I went to the dip bars. So those are the 2 bars, and then you do like the tricep dips on them. And I just did 4, so like, I think 4 sets of 4 reps. So I haven't been doing those because I think that's how I had hurt my shoulder a bit back. So I kind of was stopping doing that, but I was like, we'll just try 4, so I'm not like overdoing it, pushing myself too hard, and I was able to do them just fine. So that was good as well. Today I'm probably going to do like arms and chest, so I don't know, but I'm still staying away from the pool because my hands aren't as bad, so they're slowly getting a little bit better. I'm still putting a lot of coconut oil, so that is good. But I know as soon as I go back to swimming and in the pool, it's going to be like, man. But today I thought it would be fun to talk about logos and mascots, because that's something that I've been working on. So I mentioned it at the end of one of the driving shows. I'm not like publicly putting this out on social media, which, yeah, it kind of is, but not a lot of people watch these. So if you're one of the few who is watching, then congrats. You may have caught it at the end of one of the episodes that I mentioned I was starting, or will be starting a new business, and an outdoor adventure one with this masterclass that I'm creating. So I've got the video part of the masterclass done, I've got it all outlined, but I need to do the activity guide, and part of the activity guide is doing on-screen tutorials. So rather than just like doing it fake, like making it up, or like this is how you would do it, I was like, why don't I just start a business? I'll do the same method that I'm teaching in the class, so that I can do it for real for the on-screen tutorials. But then also, once I get it successful, I was gonna say if, but no, let's be confident. Once this becomes a successful business, then I have even more ammunition to be like, hey, look, I did a business using this, so you can too. Which means hopefully more people will buy it, but also I'm going to be charging a lot more if it works. But anyways, that's what I've been working on. So while I'm still like moving Fisher Philbrick over to Beehive, kind of changing the whole business around to be primarily email based. Oh, we're hitting some traffic, so I will have some additional time to talk to you. While I'm doing that, I'm also actively thinking about this outdoor adventure brand of like, oh man, I need to be putting stuff together for that, figuring that out. And what I worked on today is creating kind of like a mascot logo for it. So the actual like graphic design logos, the one I have for Fisher Philbrick, I mean, I like it. I still like it. It's FP when Fisher Philbrick through the middle. But it's not the most creative. It definitely is that like clean cut logo, very like business and professional. Because remember, I wanted this Fisher Philbrick to be kind of like the umbrella brand where we do a lot of stuff underneath it. So it fits what I needed, and I do like that. But recently, when I was thinking like, can I add an animal mascot to Fisher Philbrick? Because like, I love brands when they've got those cute little animals. Usually it's like one animal. Like, oh, you've got an owl. Oh, what a cute owl. I will always remember your business because you've got an owl and a mascot. And I do think they do a lot to branding when you have an animal added in there, you know, or some kind of symbol. But an animal, come on you guys, let's add an animal. That's what I want to do. So I thought polar bear for Fisher Philbrick because it kind of fits within that, and I just thought it would be cool. But I did some drawings of it, and you know, it just didn't look good, and I was like, you know what, no, we're not going to do that for Fisher Philbrick. We're just going to leave the logo and the lack of a mascot, I guess you could say, as it is. But that's all to say with this outdoor adventure one, that's something new. With Remote Workers Club, that's the community I had for the coffee business that I started and failed. I had this cute little robot, like his name was Buggy Bot, and he was the bot that was like our mascot in the Discord server. Man, he was cute. Maybe I don't know how you'd see a photo. If you go to Coffeed Up Cup, yeah, you can find that. Then you'll be able to see a picture of him. But for the outdoor adventure one, it's called Explore Outdoors California. I'm not going to talk too much about it, but basically outdoor adventure group. The reason I was California is because I am in California, and it's going to be focused on California. The dream being, though, eventually it would branch off to all the 50 states. Starting, though, with like the states where it's much easier to do outdoor adventures. So think like Colorado. Yeah, they've got a ton of stuff to do outside, so that would probably be the next one. But Explore Outdoors California. And so I already have some logos drawn up back from like a year ago when I was first thinking about this, to then, or maybe a little less than a year, but it was a long time ago, months ago, to like maybe 2 months ago, I started creating like new logo ideas, more on the graphic design, so nothing adding a mascot yet. But I, in the last couple days, was like, Michael, you wanted to add an animal mascot logo to Fisher Philbrick, and you didn't do it. It's not going to work out. How about for this one? And so I've been thinking around, like, what's an animal that captures, the outdoors, California, but not just California, because if I want to take it, nationally, then, just having a California native animal, you can make it work. You can make just about anything work if you didn't know. But I landed on this idea mostly because back when I was at Punk Post, I designed a card, and it was of a bald eagle, and he's flexing, and it said like America, which is like a meme or something funny. I don't know. I wasn't really into all that, but I just thought it would sell, and so it was chosen as a card, and I had sold it through them, got some royalties off of that. It's no longer in the card shop, but I was like, I think a bald eagle is cool because I also am kind of leaning on, you know, a lot of brands. So if you are starting a brand, if you can do anything that is very like controversial, hot and cold, you know, not lukewarm or bland, but like you choose a stance, you choose a side, then your ads will do better. You will just grow so much easier. You will collect the right people that you're looking for and turn away other people that you don't want. So there's a lot of incentive to doing something that's a little like, ooh, but I thought, you know, not even just along that line, but a bald eagle would also be good because it's like very patriotic, you know, that's our bird. But they do live on the West Coast. So I looked that up. They are in California. They're in a lot of states, actually, if you didn't know. And even in Canada, and I think some in Mexico. I don't know, you can look it up. But I've been thinking, like, if I want to do something, like, maybe very strongly on the, like, you know, patriotic, love this country, the government is out to get you, so get outside, do everything basically the opposite of what big pharma, the government, you know, just from the lockdowns of everyone, like, you have to stay indoors. Well, you know what, no, we actually needed to be outdoors. And like, it would have been fine if we were outdoors. So, you know, that's kind of what I've been thinking about. But all in all, I created some drafts and like some basic ideas of what it would look like if it was the bird. I was gonna do the flexing one, but I just wasn't happy with that, and then I came up with one where he's just like standing. You can still tell he's a very strong bald eagle. But maybe I'll share that with you guys coming up. But that's just a fun like topic to talk about, because that's kind of my favorite part of coming up with new business ideas or communities. You know, anything on the building from scratch is like, what are the logos going to be and what are the mascots going to be? And that's why I do always like to ask people when I have them on the podcast of like, what's the story behind your name? Because I think that is so fun, because I know I always have such a blast when I'm coming up with naming. Even the Explore Outdoors is a name I came up with a couple months ago. And I think what's tricky about that is if you know you want to use it, like, going forward to be something huge, which I don't know why every idea I have, or almost every idea, it's not just like something simple. It's like so complex. And this idea, I'm going to start it simple, but the dream is to make it pretty involved all around. But I'm like, it needs to be able to work where we can just plug in, you know, Explore Outdoors, California, Explore Outdoors, Colorado, Nevada, Utah, Arizona, Washington, Oregon. Like, man, it's going to be so cool. And since if I do go forward with the bald eagle, I mean, like, it can work. It can work for all of those states. That's our bird. So I'm going to leave it there. But what have been your own experiences with logos, designing them? Do you design your own, or do you use a small business? I've talked to many small business owners that are artists, that are creative, that can actually help you out with that. So if you do have any questions and you need help designing, you know, like, I would like to do it, but I've got a lot going on, so I'd actually just suggest some of those for you. So you can always reach out and ask me if you need some help in finding who it can be. But if not, what I do is I create them in Procreate, and then you can also use Canva to make them as well. Lots of fun. But I'm at the gym, so let me encourage you, if you have not exercised today yet, go out, just do it. Your body, your health, it will all thank you in the long run. Even if you're in pain now, like from yesterday, the abs, I'm feeling it. Every time I cough or if I laugh, I'm like, oh, but yes, I'm sore. We're gonna get these abs. See you tomorrow.